Good morning. You're listening to the Brief Wake Up, your start to the day. I'm Handel, your daily coffee companion, here to wake you up informed, thoughtful, and maybe a little amused before the day gets old. If you're packing lunches, commuting, or just staring into the void of your morning inbox, you're in the right place. Let's get you caught up. We'll start where everything starts, with your health. Beta blockers for performance anxiety. Here's something you may not expect to hear over coffee. A blood pressure pill is having a moment on TikTok. Beta blockers, medications like propranolol, are showing up as a performance hack for stage anxiety in public speaking. Actors, musicians, even students are talking about it. Clinically, they work by blunting the body's adrenaline response. Your heart still beats, but it doesn't pound out of your chest. They don't erase fear, they quiet the physical symptoms so you can focus. Doctors actually prescribe them for stage anxiety all the time, but they're not for everyone. They can lower your blood pressure too much or cause fatigue, dizziness, or even fainting. So if you're curious, this is a talk to your doctor first situation, not borrow one from a friend situation. In other words, maybe don't source your performance enhancers from the same place you get your concert tickets. But the takeaway is if you struggle with public speaking and anxiety, remember beta blockers can calm the body, but practice and breathing trains the mind. Confidence isn't the absence of symptoms, it's learning how to surf them. I haven't tried beta blockers yet, but as a doctor, I'm well aware of their use. Honestly, it might even help me with this broadcast. My heart's racing right now. News and politics. East Wing demolition. In Washington, amidst an ongoing government shutdown, the White House has announced plans for a major East Wing renovation. This includes partial demolition of sections dating back to the 1940s. The two aren't necessarily connected, but the optics are. Officials say it's about modernization, structural upgrades, energy efficiency, expanded offices, and more event space for dignitaries and state dinners. Still, it's symbolic. You don't often see bulldozers that close to history. Some say the timing's perfect. After years of political renovation in our country, maybe the buildings are just catching up. But here's a bigger thought. Even the most historic institutions need renovation. Foundations crack, pipes leak, and that's true for governments and for people. Progress is maintenance. Maybe the White House does need a new wing. Still, in this divisive climate, the timing makes it hard for some of us to digest. Tech and culture. The NFL supports Bad Bunny. The NFL and Bad Bunny, two names you usually don't hear in the same sentence, are teaming up. The league just launched a Latin Heritage Month campaign featuring Bad Bunny's music and the collaboration on player spotlights and jersey art. The goal? To connect with a younger, more diverse audience. Translation: they finally realized that Gen Z likes reggaeton more than the referee's whistles. But it's part of a larger shift. Sports leagues are becoming or turning into cultural brands. The Super Bowl is now as much of a concert as it is a football game. Bad Bunny's influence bridges identity, representation, and global pop reach. So which Super Bowl halftime show sticks with you the most? Let's be honest, for many that's why we watch the game. It's also worth remembering the show's roots in diversity, a tradition that's still evolving. So when you see a touchdown highlight synced to a Latin beat this season, that's not just marketing. That's culture evolving in real time. I'm not the biggest reggaeton fan, but I'm always a fan of excellence. And props to the genre for its Jamaican roots. And now for a deep sip. Start before you feel ready. So let's slow down. This morning's reflection is simple but brutal. We wait too long to begin. We tell ourselves we'll start when the schedule opens up, when the money's there, when the kids sleep better. But ready is really just a mirage. When I decided to launch this show, I wanted the perfect audio studio and intro voice and the right mic. Then I remembered the whole point of the brief wake up to begin before it's perfect. So I hit record, probably the best decision I've made in months. Readiness isn't confidence, it's momentum. Confidence shows up after you start. Sometimes you have to build the plane in the air, and everything is hard at first. So whether you're a parent, a professional, or both, you don't need a clear path. Just take a first step. Send the email, make the call, write the paragraph, take the run. Even if your coffee's half cold and you feel half ready, just start. That's where clarity lives. Now on to our lighter roast. The concept of a breadwinner isn't antiquated. Now here's a word that feels like it belongs in black and white TV. Breadwinner. For decades, it meant one person, usually a man, bringing home the money, while the other ran the house. That fit a world of one income, one career, and one idea of gender roles. But today, most families are dual income, and even in single income homes, the currency of care matters as much as cash. The breadwinner myth still lingers in our language, though. It's why some men feel worthless staying home, and some women feel guilty for out earning a partner. But family isn't an economy, it's partnership. And let's be honest, bread comes from machines now. Nobody's baking solo. So our takeaway, maybe the goal isn't breadwinner, it's bread sharing. Everyone brings something to the table. Income, care, stability, humor, love. The future is co-winning. So today, if you're carrying the load, financial or emotional, remember, it's not about who earns more. It's about who shows up. And as for who picks up the check at dinner, well, that's for another show. And lastly, for our closing pour. Before we close, a quick pour of perspective. Each day commemorates something. A reminder of the struggles of the past and what's valuing in the present so we can walk wisely into the future. So let's look at what October 27th actually commemorates. Because every date has a story, and this one's got a few worth sipping on. Today is World Day for the Audiovisual Heritage, a reminder that every sound, film reel, and radio voice ever recorded is part of our shared memory. Without those archives, we'd forget what the world sounded like before the static of the modern age. It's also National Civics Day, marking the publication of the Federalist Papers back in 1787, the blueprint of a messy, hopeful experiment called democracy. A good day to remember that civics isn't just something we studied, it's something we live every time we vote, speak up, or simply listen. And for the sailors and the dreamers out there, it's Navy Day, honoring the service of those who kept watch beyond the horizon. If you need something lighter with your second cup, it's National American Beer Day. Raise a glass, responsibly, to the craft, creativity, and community that turns barley and hops into a shared ritual. Across the ocean, it's Independence Day in the St. Vincent and the Grenadines, celebrating freedom and perseverance, proof that even the smallest islands can carry the weight of a nation's story. And finally, in the UK, it's Black Cat Day, a day to rewrite a superstition and give a little love to the most misunderstood pets on the planet. So, whether you're preserving old voices, protecting new freedoms, or just opening the door, watch for a black cat that wanders by. Today's about choosing what we remember and what we keep alive. Because every day, like every cup, is gone once it's poured, but what lingers is that good stuff. That's your brief wake up for today. Beta blockers and balance. Bulldozers in DC, Bad Bunny in the end zone, and a reminder that you don't need to be ready to begin. I'm Handel. Be curious, be kind, and top off that cup. Till next time.